a credit card offer right here. This is a credit card offer. I got one of these in the mail just the other day. I just want to give it a chance to show it to you. And some of the things that they say, yeah, possibly. But I'm going to do, like I said, I'm just going to put it to the side. And by getting the credit card, putting it to the side with all of the debt that I've accumulated, if I get a lot of credit cards and I just apply for them and then put them to the side and don't use them, that would be a way to boost my credit score as opposed to me just, so if you have stuff that you...
Can you cancel a credit card anytime you want?
Yeah, yes you could. You can cancel a credit card anytime you want. That's the opposite of, say, if you put money into an account. If you put money into an account, you can't just take it out anytime you want without excessive penalties. So if you put money into an interest-bearing account that compounds the interest, a lot of times you can't just take that money right out. They have, contract agreements that state if you do take it out, you're going to have to assess penalties, meaning they're going to take some of the money in some different ways. Whether it be you have to pay taxes on it, this, that, and other thing. But while it's in there, if you think about it, you don't have to pay taxes on it. It's accruing interest, and those are good. Those are all good things for you. It helps to, when people look at your credit report, they see different things about you that is positive, or they could, especially if you got an extra credit card as well, which I'm going to try to do to boost my credit report. I'm sure it's looking shabby right now. But that's what it is. It says, one of the things, it says zero intro APR. That's what they told you, right? No annual fee. But a lot of times, when you that's what they tell you when you get the card, but that's not usually the case once you apply for it. Once you apply for it and they check your credit report, then they will assess whether or not or how much interest they might try to put on you. APR is annual or percentage rate. So I'm going to help you guys who haven't logged on to Money Matters get an understanding of how it can help you. It says basic credit basics right here. Gives you an idea of some of the credit basics you see. Using credit to finance major goals such as buying a house may be necessary. In that case, you usually take out a loan that you repay over several decades. So several decades is like, you know what a decade is, right? It's 10 years. So usually when you buy a house, I think she's talking about like a house somewhere in the suburban area, maybe that costs upwards of $100,000, somewhere close to that. $75,000 to $150,000 would be a good starting home to buy. Like I said, say if you guys have your parents, you show your parents that you understand about credit cards. This is just an example. And then you say, Mom, here, I have the money. I have the money to pay for, the credit card application. Here's the money to pay for the credit card application. I'm going to need you to co-sign this for me, because right now you can't get one unless you're 21. It's just to protect you. But if you do that and you show your mom that you know about credit, you have an understanding about it, and that you want to use it to boost your credit score, so when you get to a certain point, that it'll be easy for you to just go out and get a loan to buy, like say, a $75,000 house. So when you get 21, you finish with college, and you acquire maybe a job that pays just not even that much because you haven't been using your credit cards. Now, at this point, you might want to accumulate a few, put them to the side, have your mother hold them for you in some type of account, so that you can stay away from it. Put it in the safe somewhere, lock it up, don't touch it while you go through college and stuff. When you get out, if you have any work experience while you're in college, like say you're doing federal work study, and then you get out, you get a nice little position, or whatever you do, even if it's not college, if you go to a little small, 2-year school to get you a trade or something like that, and you get a job right out of working that trade, and then you already have a credit built for yourself. You're at an advantage. So now when you get about, let's say, you work that job for 2 years, that's what the bank's going to want to see, that you can at least keep that job. when you at the age of 23 or so, that you'll be able to buy a house for $75,000 to $150,000. Now, those are just some of the things that you may have to do. And that's not even a lot. I've seen a lot of things. That's not a lot of things to have to do in order to be able to afford to buy a house and be able to also get a nice vehicle to go along with that. A whole bunch of other things with having a good credit score. And this is just one of the ways that you can do it. Even if you start now. This is one of the ways you can start now to be able to do it. So thinking about your finances early is what we try to shape and mold you guys to be able to do. And it can fit whether or not you want to go to college and try and be someone who acquires a higher education and gets certified or licensed in something like a lawyer, or if you just want to be in society and you don't mind working a job and a 9 to 5, and which most people are going to have to do anyway, even if it's just rudimentary, meaning if it's just a decent job that you can keep. Now, a lot of the other part is keeping your job. Getting the job could be type easy, but keeping it could be type hard. So the ability to be able to keep it, be on time, do the things that are necessary, along with building up your credit at the same time. And that's just one way, which is a good way, and with the way I would recommend even my own son or anybody else to do is in that way. Do it in the way that I just suggested. Get you a credit card, throw it to the side, and don't use it at all. And that boosts your credit score. And if you can resist the temptation, that's even better. Credit history, credit reports, and score. Let's just go to credit history real quick. I won't go too much into it. Suppose you want to borrow money to buy a car. How does the lender decide whether to give you the loan? Good question. The lender will gauge your credit worthiness. We talked about this. And heavily rely on what's written on your credit report. This report will tell a lot about your history and past use of credit. So you were asking about what's the credit report, what's the credit history, what's the credit worthiness. I told you to look on the site to use your critical thinking skills, which quantitative analysis should have done so far. And this is what a credit score would be like. This is what they're looking at. They're looking to see your payment history. Okay. This is looking pretty good. So if I'm a credit lender, if you're a credit lender, this is what you're going to be doing. You're going to be looking at your personal credit report. This is an important thing in your life. So if you don't pay attention to anything, recognize that this affects you in life, your ability to buy a car, and to use credit. Somebody credit or account for you, to give you money before you earned it. Okay? The other part is...
this type of person get approved with the loan?
This type of person who says, okay. If I was a lender, if you were a lender and you've seen somebody pay their payments on time, that would give me an idea that, yes, I could let this person borrow money. Okay? There's no reason why they should.
July, October, November, December.
Well, it doesn't say he didn't.
Well, it's blank. So basically,
I mean, well,
that's one of the hypotheses for me.
maybe the card, he never had the card anymore. If it's just because it's blank doesn't mean negative. So if he didn't pay, it would say he didn't pay.
Well, it says okay, and then on 2009, 2008, 2007, it says okay, and then 2006, it's all blank and it says okay.
Okay, well, just say he didn't pay. That's something to look at, right? You're like, okay, now this is a question you want to ask. I'm not saying you're wrong, but that's a good way. That's using your brain. Maybe he didn't pay. Okay, so now you ask him questions. Well, what happened July, August, September, October? This is a lender. You're going to ask questions now. You're going to say, well, what's going on with that? But this is what you're looking for, the majority. So now, what would you do now? Would you just totally not give him the loan? Or would you ask for why? Why is this the case? And if he gives you a good answer, then you base. Now, but this gives you, as a person who's supposed to be giving credit away, like you seem like the type of person who'd be tough to get credit from. You say, well, I'm gonna have to raise a little bit of interest. I'll give you the loan, but however, I'm gonna put this amount of interest on it because I'm concerned about this. That gives the lender a little bit of, what do you call it, when you're a little leeway in order to say, well, I'm gonna raise the interest rates, because that's their profit motive. They wanna gain profit from you loaning money to them. So that's the thing, that's their bargaining chip, that's their negotiating tool, in other words. So that's how it works.